CJ talking and talking, yeah. She's gonna talk all night and she wanna know what the questions, the burning questions from people. Oh goodness. I might. Hello YouTube, we have a special video for you. This is a new format we're doing. Usually we're doing vlogs, but I wanted all of you guys to get a better picture and a better understanding of everyone in the band. So you may know me, but do you know Aubrey, Sean, Hudson, and Keenan in the mind of them? So our first guest is my favorite, Aubrey! If you're the same, like, waddle. It's okay. Oh, it's for CJ's eyes only. No, I'm so excited. We have a new camera. Oh, it's so nice. We have a mic. Yeah, we couldn't decide if we wanted to keep it here or if we wanted to pass it. We're gonna keep it here for safe measure. Safe measure. So I put on my Instagram story questions that you want to know about Aubrey. So let's jump right into it. And a lot of you guys asked a lot of questions. So yes. I'm super excited and thank you for all the feedback. So now we're going to jump into Aubrey. Super serious mode. The first one I thought was very fitting. From Joey, I believe it's Kaylin. What are your backgrounds as a musician and how did you get started? I started, I played piano when I was like 8 years old. So that's like my start. Mm-hmm. When I first gained consciousness in the world, I remember singing a Sheryl Crow song. First cut is the deepest. Like super emotional, like I had the CD player. It was just a white CD player with purple and pink flowers. And I just would play all the CDs and the radio on that, and I had my mom's 20-year-old hairbrush, and I'd sing in front of a really filthy, dirty mirror. It's so cool too, because me and Aubrey, really, we've only known each other for 3 months? 4 months? Because we like close, I would say, yeah. What month? October is when I think we first met. Yeah, 4 or 5 months. Yeah. So we didn't start getting like close until we had a girls' night with Keenan. Next question. So Heather Middleton wants to know, did the guys, the band, know her before you did? So yes. Yeah. You and Hudson go back, I don't even know. I was a sophomore in college. And we just like met online, like via Snapchat. It was just really super random. I had tried to help with this one project, and it just didn't pan out. And so then a couple years went by, and then he calls me and he's like, "Hey, how have you been?" And so then he asked what I was doing, and I was still in the project. It had changed a lot, but I wasn't very happy with it. It wasn't going in the place that I wanted. And that happens with everything, so. Yeah. But he was like, I'd like to meet up and talk about stuff. And so then we talked about the band, and at first he didn't like offer it or anything. He was like, yeah, I've got this really cool project. And he was like, maybe if you want to like write songs. And so it was first like pitched to me as like a songwriter. And I was like, oh yeah. Totally on board. And then he started talking with y'all about me a little bit more. I just remember talking briefly, and then I know that like I auditioned shortly after that. And that was about it. I know from what I know from the story, you tell me because I don't remember. We're like hearing both of our sides. We were going through a lot of changes with Mourning Eve. We for different genre reasons. 3 different members, and we're very strict with the vision that we had. So Hudson is like the leader of Mourning Eve. Yeah. And he has like a direct vision. I remember we were driving, and Hudson showed me. He was like, I have this friend. We haven't talked in a while. She has great vocals, and she has some like a sort of a pop R&B, a strong voice. And I didn't know if that was the direction we were going, or just adding like another member and getting through the whole issue of, do we mesh? Is it gonna work out with being friends, or even being with business? And he showed me the track, I'm assuming the one that he liked.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my goodness, that sounds so good. But I was very nervous, just for meeting anyone new.
I was super nervous. What are you talking about? The first interaction I had with CJ, I had showed up to the Dark Horse Institute like 15 minutes early. Like I was like crapping my pants. Like I was so scared. I was like, oh gosh. It was like the day that I was auditioning.
Because we were doing a live audition with like the whole band. And I remember Hudson asked you, like, you need to learn this amount of songs.
It was like
really short.
It was like 3 or 4 songs I'd never heard before. Learn it in 24 hours. Like, not memorized, but like
have an idea.
Yeah.
And that was the first time we met. I remember.
That's what I was saying. I got out of my car, and then you and Hudson got out, and I went, oh, she's really pretty. And then you said, I like your pants. And I said, thanks. And that was like the first interaction.
Oh my word. I just remember, I don't know, because sometimes people get really weird, especially in the music industry. No hate, no shade. But that's why I'm always so iffy. And then plus it's difficult just to connect with people. And being with the band, that's how I wanted it to be surrounded. Because from my background, my former band, we were family. So it was I didn't have to get used to other members or even being friends. It was just like sisters. So I was nervous, especially with like another female. And because with guys, you can be like, oh, whatever, and punch them and be fine. But I was nervous. And, but it just, the moment I saw you, you just had such a peace, like a softness to you. And I was like, okay, oh my goodness, that makes me feel so much better.
I was really, I just, for some reason, I get really shy when I'm like first meeting people. Like I really only knew Hudson. Yeah. And it was like then a group of people that I'd like seen. Like I stalked the Instagram. I had to know. And like I was like, yeah, they're great. Everybody's super talented.
And we've been playing together for not a really long time, but a year. And we really pride ourselves in being really tight musically. And that's what I think I really love about our band is music is very important to us, and especially individually with our talents. And so looking back now, I know it was probably just like jumping into that, I can't even imagine. But
the nerves were there, but it was
great.
Amazing. It was fun.
Amazing. Like you're just so belty and you don't go off tune at all. And that was so impressive to me.
Is I try so hard.
Like she can, and she also can pick up harmony really well too. So it's just, I was blown away. And Hudson was like, you gotta be cool. You can't just automatically say yes.
No, and I was like, you're like, well, my answer's a yes. I was like, so I don't really know.
I was like, I want her on the team right now. And I didn't even like officially meet with her and talk to her.
No.
And so I was like, we'll get through that later. But I was so excited because I knew there was something about you that I wanted to get to know, and I wanted to know your heart, and I wanted to. I wanted to know you, and it was just something pulling at that, whether if I'm over spiritualizing. I really think God ordained us coming together. And this is what I want to segue. Tell your story within how, like we already talked about how you kind of got started with music and your first passion with it, but tell your story from like going to college and then moving here, and you could have gone to a different college, and then us meeting like years later. I think that's so crazy.
Yeah, I mean, so I only applied to 3 colleges. It was some college in Kentucky called Bellarmine Butler University, which would have been 20 minutes away from my parents' house. Mm-hmm. And then Belmont, and that was it. Bellarmine gave me like a full ride. Full ride, like all 4 years covered, except for maybe like housing and food.
Yeah, which is insane.
Yeah, could have really free college.
Yeah.
And then I went to Belmont, auditioned, got accepted. A couple weeks later, COVID happened. And I was like, this is the college. That was it.
That's so crazy. And the Belmont's in Tennessee. I feel like God places, and we just don't even know. Because I am originally from Florida, and I never thought I would move away. And the fact that I moved up here now 3 years ago, which is really crazy to say too. I think everyone within the band is not from Tennessee. So all of us coming here, meeting each other. I can't wait to get specifically into each person's story with how they come here. But yeah, it's so crazy. I would have never known you. That's so wild. Okay. From J Money says, who are your favorite bands and favorite movies?
Favorite artists at this exact moment. Rain City Drive. And I do be wearing their t-shirt. So please send me really cool stuff. I really like your band. Anyways, Black Veil Brides. I'm obsessed with John Mayer. John Mayer's... that's like my childhood. Breakfast Club, Napoleon Dynamite, Twilight, and The Hunger Games.
That is a crazy combination. Favorite, Spiritually Wired wants to know favorite singers of all time.
Yes. Okay, this one really controversial, probably. Definitely. I really think of our generation right now, Ariana Grande. She
has a huge range.
Oh my gosh, but like, you think of her, but then it's like Kelly Clarkson. Okay, those two of our generation. Then I said Chris Cornell because he's my heart and soul. I love that. I love him. He's got a great voice. And then I put Ella Fitzgerald. Because jazz is the root of almost everything.
Favorite concert you've been to?
John Mayer solo. Him in an arena. No band.
Really?
Just him playing guitar or piano. It was he played Bridgestone, and it was so intimate. I was crying. I was up in the... I love John Mayer. But
dream artist to tour with.
I think the first one I put was Paramore.
Ooh. Yeah. She has a very Paramore aesthetic too, like her vocals. We're really excited to do because we're writing right now. And a couple of the songs, we want you to kind of embody that, and I'm really excited because your voice, I think, fits so perfect.
But Honey Revenge, which I really, really like them. They're they're not even that small. They're pretty big now. They were small, but they're great. And then Rain City Drive.
Where did you go to college? What was your major?
Yeah, I went to Belmont University in Nashville. My major, Bachelor of Arts, BA, commercial music voice with an emphasis in music business.
Also, Caitlin, you wave hi to Caitlin.
Hi, Caitlin. Hi, Caitlin.
What's your fave Mourning Eve song to do together?
Wishing Well.
Wishing Well. I love Wishing Well.
I love
Wishing Well. It's beautiful the way it's recorded and produced, but when we perform it live, it is so emotional and gives such a raw, rock star stage vibe.
You feel euphoric after.
It is so fun. And I don't even move a lot.
No.
I don't.
But that's like even the best part. It's like you stand in there and you're just feeling the music.
Good.
That sounds so like...
Equinox wants to know, what is the full story behind the process of writing Wishing Well? Did Aubrey write all the lyrics?
I did not write all the lyrics. I did, however, write basically, like there's fragments. I was in my seminar class, and I was so depressed. Like, I was so sad. I don't know, it was just, there was a lot of things happening within relationships, like friendships and stuff. Yeah. And in college, you move away from home and all your friends, and you're trying to discover your people, and I think I was still in that I need to find my people, and I hadn't yet. Yeah. And so I wrote I was writing how I was feeling, and it was like, oh, I feel really like tossed aside. I'm never somebody's first friend. And I was like, I'm a second thought. I'm never invited to things, not invited. Buffer spot. Buffer spot. What did Hudson say he thought it was?
I didn't know that the
Buffer spite. That's what he said he thought it was.
I didn't know what the word was until I was reading the lyrics. And yeah, it's a very emotional song, but it's so good. Yeah. So good.
Losing time, losing self, caught inside my wishing well. That's fine. This was the notebook that I wrote one of the verses from Wishing Well.
That is so cool.
Isn't it funny? Look at my notebook.
I love that.
I didn't write very much in it, but I wrote, don't you wish I'd call you back. But there's like certain pieces where I just like spliced it. Yeah. And then friend is an emphasis and stuff,
But that's so cool. But yeah, I love that. These two, I thought it'd be cool to kind of deep dive into. What strengths do you have that you believe make you a great musician?
Yeah. I mean, being that I went to school, I do have all the techniques. Like, I've studied vocal pedagogy and like all of this like music theory. Like I've done the work. I've been given the tools to be a successful musician, professional musician outside of the world of school. And I think that a lot of singers nowadays don't have those tools. Yeah. And they are just they're pictured as less than or dumb, and they just don't understand like music in general. And I really want to change that narrative, because singers, like, yes, there's some singers that don't play instruments, but the voice is an instrument in itself. Yeah. And it's super difficult to maneuver around obstacles when it's your body. Like, for example, your instrument, if your action's too high on your guitar, you get it fixed. You can't get your vocal cords fixed. You either have it or you don't. And if you don't practice and you don't prepare yourself, it affects how you sing. Yeah. And I think it's super important, and I think one of my strengths is just knowing I have all the tools, and I can do it, and I want to, and it's a passion too.
Is the opposite of it. Do you have any weaknesses that you're actively working on trying to improve?
Yeah, it is like the performance style that we are moving into as a band together. And the kind of finding my place within it. I'm so used to like very proper choral or bubblegum pop. Like, I was never given like opportunities to play like super like hard rock or metal even. Like, I was in a band briefly and we did a lot of pop rock. Yeah. And that was fun, but it was still something that like I was more familiar with. Like, I could still play around in what I was used to, versus now it's like a completely different dynamic, and I'm still learning, like, in a performance setting, what I'm supposed to do in certain scenarios. And I do think that I've improved a lot since, like, just taking y'all's guidance and stuff. It has really changed.
So the last thing, 'cause that's the last question.
Oh, dang!
You could see, like, your younger self, or like you have the audience that's watching you, fans, friends, family. If you could tell them anything right now, what would you tell them? I feel like I'm gonna be so cheesy, but like it's true. Just do it. Nike.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Nike swoosh. No, I'm joking. I mean, yeah, though. Mm-hmm. Just pursue your dream. So yeah, this is Aubrey, everyone. She's my best friend, and yeah. What's your favorite color too? I feel like that needs to be said.
It's like a teal, but like turquoise blend, mint green. CJ talking fast, and then she interviews people because she likes to talk to people, asking questions. CJ talks, yeah,
with Aubrey.
That'll be the intro.
Say bye.
Cut! That's how I'll end it, for real.
Let's go.